Thank you again for joining us in our Carey Sports live yoga class here at the Carey Sports Gym. Today's class will be focusing on a Vinyasa flow, which focuses on the hips and the shoulders release. So we'll be doing it slow and mindfully and hopefully kind of deepening the rotations and the mobility of the shoulders and the hips. So that we can get deeper, or we can get into the poses a little bit more mindfully, and we can flow with our breath as well. So if you guys have any injuries or conditions, then please be mindful of them and rest whenever you need to. You can come into child's pose, pause, catch your breath, and then come join us again. You can also skip some poses if you find that it's a little too much for you, but this class is going to be hopefully a holistic practice for each one of us. And if you guys are good and there are no questions, we shall begin. We will all come stand at the top of our mat. We only need our mat and maybe a block if you have it. So let's stand at the top of our mats. And then we'll bring our big toes together to touch. Heels are slightly apart, so that if you look at the sides of your feet, they are parallel to the sides of your mat. And then hug the navel in, activating the core. Draw the tailbone down to lengthen your lower back. For now, you can roll your shoulders up, back, and down maybe a few times. And this just helps to release whatever tension or tightness you've been carrying throughout the morning, maybe from your sleep yesterday. And then release your hands out. Close your eyes. Take a few moments to breathe. To establish yourself here in the present moment. And just starting to lengthen each inhale. Slowing down your exhales. Allowing the breath to flow naturally and fully within you. And once you've found a very good rhythm to follow, you're feeling comfortable with your breath, it's time now for us to reach the arms up towards the ceiling and gaze up. Exhale, just bring your hands in prayer to your heart and bow your head down. Think about the reason that brought you here, setting an intention for your practice, a direction for your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And together we'll bless our practice with a sound of Om. So take a long, deep breath in through the nose. Om. Release the hands out by the sides of your hips. Take a deep breath and reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your right wrist in front of your left. So you're crossing at the wrists, and then bring your palms to face each other. Interlace your fingers. From here, take a deep breath and extend the arms up, drawing the tailbone down. And exhale, bending over to the right side, bringing your hips out to the left. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Keep the core active. Maybe extend the arms out to the right. Taking a long breath in, reaching the arms up. Exhale, let's fold over the legs. Maybe reaching for your shins or for the floor, leaning more weight to the toes. Slightly bend your knees. Then take a deep breath and start to roll the spine up, one vertebra at a time. Head comes up last. Exhale, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Breathing in, arms up towards the ceiling. We'll do the other side. Exhale, bring your left wrist in front of your right. Flip your palms to face each other and interlace your fingers. Breathing and extending the arms up, drawing the tailbone down, activating your thighs. Exhale, bringing your arms out to the left as you draw your hips out to the right. Squeezing the inner thighs together. Reaching the arms out to the left even more, waking up the right side body. Taking a long breath in, reaching the arms up. Exhale, we fold, diving down, reaching the hands to the shins or to the floor. Take a deep breath in, look forward, halfway. On an exhale, release the hands down in line with your toes and step your feet back into a plank. Shoulders over the wrists. Take a long breath in. From there, shift your weight a little bit more forward. Exhale, you can opt to bring the elbows down. Bend the elbows back, keeping your spine long. Point your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips up to the sky, heels down to the mat, chest to the legs. For now, if you're feeling quite tight in the back of your legs, you can pedal your feet. Lift one heel up and the other heel up. You might even like to bring the knee onto the opposite side, so there's a little bit of a twist in the lower back and your hips. Mobilizing your toe joints, your ankles, the knees, the hips, and your spine. And then from here, take a deep breath in, shift your shoulders over the wrists, coming into your plank pose. Exhale, just lower the right knee underneath your right hip. And spin the right heel outside of your mat, left foot down. Reverse gate. Inhale, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, extend the left arm over your head. Keep pressing your right palm down like you want to lift your chest up to the sky and reach your left fingertips close to the earth. Take a long breath in. We're going to do arm circles. Exhale, sweep your left fingertips down through the mat. Reaching your left arm back. Good. Whoops, up and over the head. And then maybe 2 more huge circles. And every time you create those circles, see if you can make them bigger and wider. And start to really feel the stretch emanating, not just from the shoulders, but maybe onto your hips, maybe for some people onto their thighs. Exhale, release the left hand down. Now we're going to walk our hands over to the left side 90 degrees, which means you're facing the left side of your mat. Flex your left foot, toes pointing up. From here, take a deep breath and extend the arms up towards the sky. We want the right hip over the right knee. Activate the core still, and exhale, bring your left hand down to the mat and extend the right arm up and over your head. Gradually deepening your stretch for another 3, spinning the right armpit up to the ceiling. 2, feeling the extension from your right hip. And 1. Breathing in, both arms up to the sky. And exhale, release the hands down onto the floor. Bring your left toes to point towards the left side of the room, okay, or where your fingers are pointing. Press your right palm down. Inhale, left arm up. We're going to start to create a twist. Exhale, sweep your left arm through the right shoulder and see if you can bring your left shoulder as close to the floor as possible, creating a good stretch along the left hip. Taking a deep breath in, we do it again. Left arm up. Maybe now you can open the chest a little bit more towards the ceiling. And then exhale, sweeping through even deeper. Left shoulder down, maybe look up. And 1 last, okay? Inhale, left arm up towards the sky, opening the heart. And exhale, sweeping through, left shoulder down. Try to keep your left toes on the mat. Inhale, if it's possible, right arm up. Exhale, you can even bring your right hand to the lower back or to your left thigh and spin your right shoulder. to the ceiling for another 2. Keep breathing. And 1. Now we extend the right arm up. Exhale, releasing it down underneath the chest. Inhale, left arm towards the ceiling, gazing up. And exhale, release the hands down. Walk your hands back to the front of your mat, spinning the left heel up. 3-legged down dog, right leg lifts towards the ceiling. And exhale, just open the right hip out, bend the knee to the sky, and hip shrink mandala. Try and square the chest towards the left shin and press the chest closer to your leg. Breathing in, straighten out the right leg to the ceiling. And exhale, bring the right knee outside of your right hand. Lower your left knee down, coming into lizard. Breathing in, lengthen your spine here. And exhale, you can opt to bring the elbows down the floor. If they don't reach, you can hover them, or you can bring them on top of a block. And then allow your hips to sink even lower, maybe even hug your right thigh closer to the right shoulder. For another 3, unclenching your jaws. 2, and 1. Now we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. 3-legged downward facing dog, lifting your right heel up. And as you exhale, 3-legged chaturanga, shifting your weight forward and bending the elbows back. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting your gaze. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips up towards the sky. We shall do the other side, taking a long breath in, coming forward into plank. As you exhale, just lower your left knee underneath your hip. Then spin the left heel outside of your mat. Right foot spins down as well. Breathing in, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And exhale, extend your right arm over your head. This is called your side plank variation or your reverse gate. Spin your right armpit, right rib cage up to the ceiling. Extend the right fingertips forward and closer to the floor, activating the core, taking a long breath in, arm circles. Exhale, sweep your right arm through the mat, reaching the right arm back, up, over the head. We'll do 2 more huge arm circles, really creating bigger circles, stretching out your right shoulder joint, the right side of your body. Good. And then from here, bring your hands down. Walk your hands 90 degrees towards the right side. Okay? So let me just turn around to face you. Okay, you don't have to change anymore. From there, bring your hands underneath towards your hips and flex the right foot. So you want the right heel in line with the left knee. Activating the core gate position. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, release the right hand down to your shin. Extend the left arm up over your head. Take your time, gradually deepening the stretch for another 3. Spinning the left armpit up to the sky. 2, extending from your left hip. Reaching the left fingertips more to the right. And 1. Breathing in, arms up towards the ceiling. Remember, threading the needle. Exhale, release the hands down. Bring your right toes on the floor, facing the right side of the room, okay? Left hand plugs down to the earth. Inhale, extend your right arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, we sweep the right arm through the left shoulder. Maybe the right shoulder comes down. Let's do 2 more sets, all right? Inhale, extending your right arm up, opening the chest. And then exhale, sweeping through again. Maybe going a little bit deeper. You can even look up to the ceiling. And 1 last. Inhale, extending the right arm up and back, opening the heart. And exhale, sweeping through, right shoulder down, maybe the temple rests on the floor. You can even reach your left arm up to the sky and maybe even bring it to the lower back or to your left thigh. And spin your left shoulder up to the ceiling, deepening the stretch. See if you can keep your right foot grounded on the floor. Taking one more breath in and breathe out. Now we'll extend the left arm up. Exhale, release it down and reverse the way we came down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, both hands down. This time, walk your hands over to the left. You're facing the front of the room again. Three-legged downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up. Remember hip joint mandala. Exhale, open the left hip out, bend the knee to the ceiling, and press your chest closer to your right shin. Pull your shoulders back away from the ears, really activating your core. And then inhale, straighten out the left leg. Exhale, bring the left foot outside of your left hand. We're going to lower the right knee down in lizard pose. Inhale, lifting the chest up. Allow the hips to sink low, creating space along your hip flexors and your inner thigh. And to exhale, you can bring the elbows down. You can hover them if you can't really reach the floor yet, or you can even bring your elbows against a block. You can also opt to keep the arms straight. That's not a problem at all. For another 4, unclench the jaws, please. 3, just keep pulling the shoulders away from the ears. So we're really stabilizing the shoulders. We're creating length along the neck. And 1. And now we bring the hands underneath the shoulders in three-legged down dog. So take a deep breath in, left heel reaches up. On an exhale, three-legged Chaturanga Dandasana, leaning forward, bending the elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting your chest up. And exhale, downward facing dog, hips towards the sky. From here, take a deep breath in, step or jump the feet outside of your hands. Exhale, elbows against your knees, palms together, and bring your prayer hands to the center of the chest. Think about lengthening your spine. For another 5. If you like, you can shimmy your hips from side to side. Lots of people like to do that. See if you can turn your toes outward in line with where your knees are pointing. So don't point them out way too wide, okay? It's not about how outturned your feet are, but really as a natural base for your open hips. Then from here, just bring your right hand down on the floor, inside, so bring your right shoulder inside of your right thigh, not outside, it's inside. Bring your right hand in front of the right foot. You can come up onto spider fingers, I like to do that. And then inhale, left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, maybe lean back. And think about lifting the chest for another 5. If you want to go further, you can bring your left hand to the lower back. Maybe you can even reach your right thigh and twist even further. And some might even be able to turn the right thumb in and come into a full bind. Spinning the left chest up, shoulders away for another 2 and 1. Now from here, we're going to look down. Those of you who aren't in a bind, stay there first. Those of you who are in a bind, see if you can walk your feet a little closer to each other, especially the left foot underneath your left hip. Lean forward and lift your hips up. Now keep your bind and see if you can transfer your weight to your left leg and lift up with the bind still. This is called your standing Marichasana. For those of you, so stay there, but for those of you, okay, who weren't in a bind, what you do is hands down, you lift your hips, walk the feet together, and fold. And then we'll all meet standing up. So those of you in standing Marichasana, stay there. Exhale. Those of you who are just standing, start to lift the right knee up and open it out to the side in tree position. And now we all stay for 5, finding balance. 4. Those of you in standing Marichasana, you can do it. You're doing well. Shoulders away from the ears. 2 and 1. Those of you in standing Manichasana, bend your knees and release your feet down. We will all meet in Malasana. Hi, you guys still fine? Hopefully so. Shimmy your hips out from side to side, shake it off. Then from here, lift your hips up, okay? And we're gonna step the left foot very far back, like that. The right knee is over the ankle, the left foot is extending. And then release the left knee down. We're gonna move into pigeon. So heel toe the right foot over to the left wrist. Heel toe. And then once you reach it there, see if you can bring the right knee down and then lower your hips. Now, if that's not possible, the right hip is down, but the left hip is lifted, or your hips are just floating the whole time, see if you can bring a pillow or a block underneath your hips so you feel supported like that, okay? Now, take a deep breath in, find your balance. See if you can come up onto fingertips and lift the chest. If you wish, you can stay here, not a problem. But if you can go further, then reach the arms up. Ta-da! For 3, hug the navel into the spine. I know that the right hip is heavy, so it's gonna want to ground down to the floor. You can control that by pressing your left thigh down and keeping your left hip close to the earth as well. Now we're gonna bring our hands back. First option, grab onto opposite elbows. Second option, we bring our palms together and flip the fingers up. This is called reverse prayer, all right? Those of you who can't really balance yet without the hands on the floor, keep your hands on the mat, okay? And all we're gonna do is take a deep breath and lift the chest. Exhale, you have an option to stay upright or fold. For 5, take your time. 4, 3, 2, activate the core because we're going to rise up, and 1. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, release the hands. Wiggle your fingers if that kind of, stretched out your wrists a lot. And then lift your right leg up. 3-legged down dog. Right heel towards the sky. As you exhale, let your right hip breathe. Here we go. Stay there. You can opt to stay. You can also opt to flip over if there's space for you. Landing your right foot outside of your left leg, extending your right arm up and over the head. For some of you, you might feel quite open enough to move into a full wheel. Landing your right hand down the floor and turning your left fingers to point back. Bring your chest a little bit forward for 3, keep breathing, 2, and 1. Now, if you were in your full wheel, left hand turns to your right fingers and to the front, okay? So you're just reversing the rotation. Right hand down. 3-legged down dog. There we go. And to exhale, 3-legged chaturanga. Bend the elbows in. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right, great job. Let's bring that block out of the way. Inhale, step or jump the feet outside of the hands. Exhale, Malasana again. How are you guys? So we worked on the right side of the torso quite a lot, especially that right hip. We're gonna have to balance it out by doing the other side, okay? So from there, left hand in front of the left foot with the shoulder in front of the thigh. It's just there to keep the left knee from folding into the floor. Lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, beautiful extension. You can stay there, just leaning back. You can spin your right thumb down and maybe bring it to the lower back or to your left thigh and open your right shoulder to the ceiling even more. You can even come into your full bind if that's available for you. For another 3, hug the navel in, keep the core strong. If you feel like all of your weight is on the left leg, please transfer some to the right. We're still finding balance. And 1. Again, look down. Those of you in a bind, don't release your hands yet. Walk your feet, right foot particularly, closer to you. Lean forward so you can lift your hips and transfer your weight to the right leg to lift up in your standing, Vinyasa. I'm sorry, because I looked to the side. There you go, find your balance. All right, it's possible, okay? Stay there. Those of you who were still in your Malasana, stay there for those in standing Madhyasana. If you were in Malasana, hands down, hips up, feet together, fold. And then inhale, arms up. Those in standing Madhyasana, please wait for us. Exhale, hands out. Tree pose, left knee up. Open the knee out and step the foot against your right thigh, hands in prayer. And now together we count for 5, okay? Activate your core. So those of you who are finding it hard to balance, try and lift your gaze or a little bit your chest up and bring your gaze a little bit more parallel to where your eyes are. And then focus on one unmoving point. So earlier when I turned around, you noticed that I kind of lost my balance. That's because where you look, your body will follow, okay? So be mindful of not only how you control your body, but also how you control your concentration. Where do you look? How do you guide the energy in your body? And then we release. Those of you in your tree pose, you just come into your Malasana. If you were in your standing Madhyasana, bend the right knee and lower down. And then back into Malasana, everyone. Hands down, Lord. Shake it off. Ooh la la. Good for your booty. Okay. Take a deep breath in, lift your hips. Now we step the right foot very far back. Remember this. Lower the right knee down and move into your pigeon. So walk your left foot over to the right side, please. Right wrist particularly. And then lower the left knee down. If you're kind of doing like this, very short on the right side, but very long on the left, means that your right hip is lifting up and your left hip is down. We want it to be more equal. So face forward and bring the right hip down. If it ain't possible for today, maybe it's just a little tight on this side, that's okay. Bring a block, okay? And then find your balance. So you can come up onto your fingertips and stay there. You can also reach the arms up. We're gonna stay for 3, squaring your hips forward, just actively bringing your right thigh down, 2, and 1. Now, if your arms are up, see if you can reach your hands behind you and grab onto opposite elbows. Can also come into your reverse prayer hands in prayer, then flip your fingertips up to the sky. You can opt to stay here, all right? It's a little tricky to fold, but if you want to take that challenge, why not? Those of you with the hands on the floor, just keep them there. You can even reach the hands forward and fold. If you want to fold, you can. Take a long breath in and exhale, fold over. 5, 4, 3, shoulders away from the ears, especially those of you in your reverse prayer hands. 2, and 1. Now keep your left leg active. Oops. Lift yourself up. Inhale. It's a little tricky, I told you. Exhale, release. So even I got tricked there. That's okay. Release your block. Hands down, okay? 3-legged down dog. Left leg up. All right. So, you know, in your practice, yes, we want to try and keep our composure. Let's do a joint mandala. Bend the left knee, okay? But sometimes if you fall, that's fine. Because falling is where you learn. It's how you learn how to balance. Now, if you want to flip over, you can, landing the left foot down, lifting your hips up, left arm up and over the head. Now, if you're feeling quite open, your chest is open, your shoulders aren't pinching, then you can maybe reach your left hand down and press the palm core. Turning your right fingers to point to the front and adjusting your feet. Now you're in your full wheel. See if you can bring your chest a little bit more forward. 4, keep breathing. 3, this is just an option, okay? Please don't get pressured. 2, everyone's bodies are different. And 1. Now, those of you who were flipped over in a back bend, full back bend, bring the right hand, which is on the mat still, to point towards your left fingertips. And then to the front, okay? Left hand down in line with your right hand, 3-legged downward facing dog. And exhale, 3-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good job, guys. Inhale, step or jump through to sit. Exhale here. Extend your legs up. So it was a slow flow, but hopefully the slowness got you to really feel every inch of the rotations, of the turns, of the twists and the stretches that we were doing. Flex your feet. Take a deep breath and arms up. You've done well. Exhale, just release the hands down and let's fold. But take your time because I'm going to be counting for up to 10 breaths anyway. So make your way gradually into a deeper stretch. So whenever we do our yoga, it's really to get us to tune into the body and to see what's really showing up for us today. Because sometimes our minds, we have an idea of how things should be. We have expectations. We have goals. And you know what? The body wants to reach those goals, okay? For you, it really does. And sometimes it's just not in its 100%. Maybe it's not ready for it yet. So the yoga practice is there to get us to ground down into what is here. That it's good for us to, have goals and maybe to even have a vision, but we also need to remember that in order to achieve our visions, we need to start where we are. And you really need to be grounded here in the present moment so that you can direct each action that you're taking, guide mindfully and effectively towards that vision that you want. Every breath counts. Your inhales brings you new energy, your exhales release the things you no longer need, and it creates space for you to see more clearly again and take the next step forward. And that's what our practice is all about. It's about refining not only, our body or even just our mind, it's refining our relationship with ourselves. And so we take a deep breath in, lift the chest up, take your time, exhale, wiggle your toes and shake them off. You've done very well, and I hope you guys remember to tell yourself that, because we forget sometimes. So this is your reminder. Lift your knees up. Turn to face the back. Let's do some twists first. So just separate your feet hip width apart, okay? And then keep your feet pointing forward, knees pointing up. These are not going to move as much as possible. You're just going to lengthen your spine and bring your right hand behind you in line with your left hip as much as you can. So if you can't really reach in line with your left hip, you just bring it in line with your spine, which is the middle weight. So you bring your right hand back. This is where my left hip is. It's in line. This is where my back is. Okay? And then from there, keep the knees pointing up. Extend the left arm to the ceiling. Inhale. And then we're going to turn to face the right and bring your left hand in line with your right hand. And twist for 3, knees up, 2, chest, we switch. Exhale, left hand in line with your right hip. Okay. Inhale, right arm up, knees pointing to the ceiling. Exhale, turn to the left. Right hand maybe reaches for the floor, maybe it doesn't. Reach if you can, and fold a little. For 3, knees up. 2, deep twist. And 1. And inhale, lift your chest. Sit up. Exhale, let's lie down. Lying down on the floor. Okay, so from here, please bend your knees. We shall do just one back bend, and it's up to you what kind of back bend you want to try. So you can either do your bridge, which keeps your hands by your heels, or you can bring your hands by your ears and move into your full wheel. Either way is okay, all right? Same thing. Notice how it feels in the body first, and then respond to that. So take a deep breath in and lift your hips up. If you are doing bridge, just interlace your fingers underneath your hips, and then scooch the shoulder blades closer and elevate the hips and chest even more. If you want to come into your full wheel, then you can bring your hands by your ears. You can start by bringing the top of the head on the floor first, and then just becoming aware of the lower back. How does it feel? If it feels quite open. And if you are ready, then you can come into your full wheel. For 4, wherever you are, please breathe. 3, 2, and 1. And your knees. Knees together, feet apart. One hand to the heart and the other hand to the belly. And close your eyes. Grateful for your practice. Soft in the shoulders. Unclenching your brows. Slowing things down as we deeply connect to our body, our heartbeat, our breath, connecting to the earth on which we lay, to the sounds in the environment. Receptive to what's here. Accepting what life is offering you right now, without any resistance and without judgment. Taking a long breath in and a breath out. And now we lift the knees up to the chest, wrap the arms around the shins, and just create a few circles, shake it off, let go, let go. Taking a long breath in, and as you exhale, extend your legs straight down the floor. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Let your palms face up in your Shavasana, corpse pose. And just allowing the body to surrender completely. Dying into your old self so that you can be renewed. your fingers. Wiggle your toes. And just shake your head from side to side. Extending the arms up over your head. Bring your feet together and let's just stretch out the entire body. Gather your knees in. Wrap the arms around your shins. And lie down on whichever side feels comfortable. And now lift yourself up to an easy seat. Bring your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Bowing down, grateful for your practice, grateful for your mind, your body, and your energy. And may all of our thoughts, words, and actions contribute to the happiness, the well-being, and the freedom of all. May we always be guided by the truth and by love. Namaste, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with us today here in Carey Sports Manila. Next Thursday, we'll do another yoga class. The focus would be a power yoga class. And then on Monday at 11 a.m., there's going to be another class, so please stay tuned for that. I hope to see you again very soon. Please stay hydrated and keep yourselves healthy. And maybe I literally will see you guys soon when the quarantines lift and the gym opens up again. In the meantime, be well. Thank you guys.